Hey, good evening and happy Portugal Day to you. Let's bring on our hosts for this evening tonight who are introducing us to the Kingfisher, the guardian of the river, I believe as well it may be called, Gary and Linda Austin, with a fine wine number 48, Gary and Linda.
Wine number 48.
Andy the Docken and Leona and Leiria as well. And Penny's with us from Devon. How's everyone doing this evening?
We're good, thank you.
Tudo bem.
Tudo bem, sim, tudo bem. So very good. What sort of Portugal day have we all had today?
Busy.
English one.
Yeah, you've been busy. Ours has been lazy, really.
Okay, all right. I have got a little bit of a tribute. I mean, did you even know it was Portugal Day over there in Britain now that diplomatic ties have been severed?
I did see something about it, but I've got no idea what it's all about, to be honest.
Okay, we're celebrating the life of Luís Camões. Actually, probably in Portugal, celebrating the death of Luís Camões, but he is synonymous with Portugal Day, and might treat you to a bit of his poetry a bit later. Here's just one before you get started, Gary and Linda. Here is one of his. 1,000 trees are seen towards heaven rising, with beautiful and sweetly scented apples. That's one of his lines, which seems so right for the part of Portugal I'm living in.
Don't rhyme.
It doesn't rhyme.
Not bloody good, is it? Don't bloody rhyme, does it?
Okay, all right. Before the show's out tonight, can we please have a limerick that begins with, "There once was a man from Leiria." Okay, so best one we'll raise a glass to. It's about as good as we're going to get tonight. Gary, Linda, over to you. What we got here?
Well, we've I think we've done enough punting around with Vinho Verdes and fizzes. It's back to a good old solid red tonight. So let's give this chappy a bit of a looking at. Right. As you've already introduced it, it's Guarda Rios, which is river guard, or we call them kingfishers. It's from the Alentejo region. It's one of their specials, actually. The company that actually produced this is Monte Ravasqueira, which I've had a few of their wines, and they're all very nice. So this shows great promise, really. I don't know how obtainable it is all over the world. It might be quite difficult, but here you managed to get yours, and Doc's got his, so everybody's happy except for Penny. Sorry, I just wish I could, give it to you through the screen. Okay. I did email the company, but we forgot that today's actually a bank holiday, isn't it, in Portugal? So would you really want to come on screen at this time of night when you should be having dinner with your friends and stuff? So I understand, people, if you're listening. So as we know, it's made by the Monte Ravasqueira company in the Alentejo region. It's made from Syrah, Alicante Boucher, and Aragonese grapes, and grown on limestone soil. There's quite a bit of bit up on the websites and stuff about the two companies. That's the one we got tonight. You can see all the various information there on it. Sounds like a nice wine. I've had a few of theirs before, and they've all been very good. So big hopes for this one tonight. But if you go to the Monte Ravasqueira site, the actual main company, the parent company, so as it is, which I think was the first web address I gave you. Okay, have you got that, Cole?
Yes, indeed. I'm just calling that onto the screen now. Give me a moment to do that. But I will do that for you now. Sorry, I thought just by changing the tab, I'd be in the right place. 3,000 hectares of stories. I think we're in the right place now.
It looks nice. It looks a nice place. Because I think this place is in Neil's backyard, isn't it? It should be somewhere near him. So he very well may have frequented this place. They do a lot of wines, and the storyline basically goes to this. 1943, I started. I bought a vineyard. In 1966, the first notable guy, Jose. 1943, Don Manuel de Mello. He was the guy that first bought the winemaking vineyard. But in 1966, his son Jose took over. Now he's quite an interesting character, old Jose. Loves his wine and also loves horses, the Lusitano horses. And this company have a great connection with these horses and you know, in sport. But Jose obviously was quite a man, because he had 12 children. So the family line was well secured by the looks of it, and all his 12 children were involved in the wine company. And I dare say a few of them are still around doing what they do best. In 1998, there was kind of a change in branding and stuff. So the Monte de Rapasquiera, which you always have trouble in saying, kind of came to be. That was the brand name. So in 2007, they harvested probably the first bottles under that label. Just throwing another one in there. In 2006, there were a major horse trial with those Lusitano horses in Belgium. So I don't know much about horse things. So it'll be in there somewhere on the timeline if you want to find it.
Yeah.
2009. What was that for? I don't know what that's for. Oh yes, 2009. Jose handed the winemaking sort of lead over to a guy called Pedro Pesira Gonçalves. Now he's a very, very good winemaker, comes with a lot of kudos, and I believe his brand is all over this. So we're tasting a bit of him tonight. Then in 2017, obviously things needed a bit of a kick up the bum. So they had a reclassification of all the wines, and that reclassification was things like they had the family classics, they had superior, and they also had the selection of the year. And this is when the Guarda Rios and a few other brands that you might actually recognise. We've had them before. It's at the bottom of one of those pages there somewhere. If you go to the site and have a good look round, you'll see a few familiar names. I don't know. See what it says wines on there, Carl?
Yep.
If you just click on that.
So I got a bit carriages for a minute there. And also,
it's all good carriage. You must have a carriage museum there as well, which looks jolly interesting. Is there anything on that if you scroll down?
There we go. There we go.
Right, hang on. Right, this is the rebranding thing we was on about that took place. So they sectioned them out into different sort of classes of wines. You get the premiums if you go further down. You get the family reserves. So, you know, there obviously are big price differences between these sort of things. So you can tailor it to your own personal budget. And if you keep going down to the bottom.
What's that one? What's that looks like a bottle of ink?
It probably is. They probably make their own ink. I think they also do olive oils and stuff and other products. Yeah. And if you keep, hopefully, I'm keeping my fingers crossed at the bottom of this page, it will tell you. There we go. There's the guys that you might have had before. I know we've had Vitar Bear, yeah.
Yes, we had that, didn't we? Yeah.
And I think I've had a Donna Vittoria. So I may have had all three of those. And we know that these are good wines. We're not going to have a disappointment tonight. This will be nice. So I'm hoping on Portugal Day that we can get into this and say, yes, that wasn't a bad wine. I had the grand opening of the bottle and the first taste, and it does look very promising. So let's do it. Let's have a smell. Let's put some in the glass.
Okay, well, you guys are filling your glasses. Evening from Stephen. Well, hey, Stephen, great chatting to you earlier. Hola, boa noite a todos from Eric J. Good to see you earlier on. Muito boa noite, meus amigos from João Mendonça. Hello, João. Good evening, wine lovers. Good evening, wine lovers. All right, not off from Nuremberg. They were there. The Perkinses were there 3 weeks ago.
I thought you might be hanging around there, Neil. Seems your sort of place.
Right up his man, isn't it? The owner got a Lusitania horse to win the Kart World Championships for the first time ever. And a historic moment that he worked for years to achieve. These are high achievements, aren't they? These.
They are. They've definitely got. Interestingly as well, notice on the bottle, if you look at your bottles at the bottom of the label there, It actually got a number.
Yeah,
And
that's
it's like
amazing.
the bottle number of whatever batch it was, which was I've got 2 bottles here, one for opening, one to look at. This is a series 5, and that's a series 4. So you can actually track your bottle right the way back to the series it was made, and even down to the actual bottle of that series, which is rather cool, really, isn't it?
Classy, mate.
It is.
I think I can track mine back to Majestic.
What are we smelling then? Let's get the nose in there. Never.
Got series 1.
That's a very deep fruity, oaky, spicy. Hint of maybe a bit of clove in there, something along those lines, and definitely vanilla.
Blackcurrant for me.
Blackcurrant. So let's give it a go.
Keeping it up.
I'm liking that a lot.
Yeah.
Well, butter me all over and call me a cracker. That's nice.
I'll pass on that one, Gareth. That's all right.
As attractive as an invitation as that is,
I thought that'd be a nice wine. That is
a little
nice.
bit of sauce coming. Gary, this is interesting because I haven't been looking forward to red wine recently. I'm loving the fizz. I'm loving the springtime vibes. You know, the warmer weather, and I'm thinking, heavy old red. This isn't that at my end here. This is light and sophisticated.
Very smooth.
And we should say, shouldn't we? It is sophisticated and expensive. This is a markdown from normally a retail of €18 to 6.5 or something like that in a major supermarket at the moment. So it's nice to get that chance to taste something expensive on a markdown without it actually turning out to be a bit of a marketing ploy, because this does taste classy and more expensive than some we've had.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'd agree with that. I'm not disappointed. In fact, I think I'd go to say, even if I had to pay somewhere near full price for that, I still wouldn't be disappointed. That is a class wine.
Yeah, yeah, nice one, sir. And a linguistic delight for us as well. The Guarda Rios. I didn't know that, because I saw on the Wildlife in Portugal group, which is incredible. Somebody posted up a picture of a kingfisher sat on their windowsill, and I'm thinking, if you're lucky, you see the electric blue flash, don't you, in the UK? And was that a kingfisher or not? You're not sure. And this guy had a kingfisher sat on his windowsill, by the sound of it. And I think you might have commented on that, Gary, and said, yeah, the Guarda Rios. So it's really nice to get a bit of vocab as well at the same time.
In fact, being an ex-twitcher, right? I mean, I'm constantly amazed out here. I mean, as a youngster, I used to have the old bird books, and I dreamed of seeing some of these birds that are just so common here. And then we had a black redstart, which was nesting underneath the eaves at the back of the house here. And if you'd had one of those in Britain, you'd have had thousands of people coming to see and taking photographs of it. But they're just commonplace. It's just crazy for me, really.
And the pterodactyls as well. You know, the storks are something else to behold, aren't they, in the sky?
Yeah.
Quite extraordinary.
Pete's got a nice stork as well.
We have a lot of kites. A lot of kites around the forest around the rear. Yes, Gary, those two. Beautiful to watch.
Yes, and birds of prey. Nice to see the hawks, isn't it? And buzzards and so. I don't know sure if they are buzzards, but having a scrap sometimes with the storks as well. On a different note here for a moment, Carl, the boys did me proud last night. Guess what? Cristiano kept his jersey. Well done. E agora Inglaterra domingo. Forza! From João. The expat man cave football coverage starts at 9 tomorrow evening. So, says Stephen, you won't be joining us, Penny. Okay. So it's not a €6 wine they would normally charge €18 for. No, it's not a cynical ploy like that either, Stephen, but a good point. Ian, hello, Ian. Benoit team just dropping in to say hi as we're away in Norfolk for an anniversary celebration. 21 years. Fantastic. Congratulations to you both. How lovely. Marlborough Sauvignon tonight. That sounds Aussie to me. Food pick heading to Cole. Please, yeah, bring it on. Do share. Do share. Anyone, actually. 913-590-303. If you want to actually share a picture of what you're drinking and eating this evening, it's always good fun. You can actually call a studio but you don't have to. You can just send pictures in on that number as well. There you go. Or a voice message. There's another thing. You can just do one of those WhatsApp voice messages. We're taking our life into our hands by allowing people to do that. Well, let's see what happens. Okay, a further impression. So what you got tonight, Penny? What did you manage to find?
I've got, it's from the Alentejo rather than yours is Ribatejo.
No, it's an Alentejo. Same as
Oh,
yours.
it is an Alentejo. I thought yours was a slightly more specific region within the Alentejo, but this is an Alentejo. Again, the main grape, Shiraz Syrah, and I think one of the other grapes matches yours, so it's pretty close to yours. Obviously, a different maker. There we go. It's
Very
actually
nice.
It's very dry. It's very nice. It's very smooth. It's actually quite. It's a nice wine.
Excellent. I'm glad for you. I'm glad for you. And a beautifully set up shot. Where it's a Roman Polanski kind of directorship in your boudoir tonight. Look at this. The reflections, seeing ourselves in the iPad. It's all very good. And seeing a reflection of your fine glass of wine there. Very arty. Very nice.
It's my huge mirror.
Very good. All right. I'll just zoom back out again. So you don't feel too self-conscious there. All right. Yeah.
With my drawer in full view.
Not that we noticed. Austin, I think Gary's stuffing his face. Oh, look, he's got his decanter out for this one. But what are you?
Just the one sitting.
Hampton Court. Right. So what are you munching on there, Gary, alongside this?
Right. I read the recommendations what to go with it. We've got strong cheese, red meats, basically anything sort of gamey or heavily flavored, and yeah, it works. It works very well.
But also, I mean, at the other lighter end of the spectrum, hopefully Mrs. M is going to be bringing me some squid and tomato sauce in a little while. And it's going to go well with not so heavy things that you might match with a serious red wine. I'm thinking with this guy, it's not full bodied, is it? It's not an assault on the senses by any means. I'm finding.
I think it is. I think it is full bodied, but it's done in a very, very nice way because you've got a very deep flavour of fruits. You've got the oak, you've got the vanilla, everything I love in a red wine. But just so nicely carved and smooth that it doesn't assault your tongue; it just caresses it.
That's it.
There are
Be poetic, wouldn't it? Ooh.
The tannins aren't very high.
No.
So it's quite smooth.
It's polished, isn't it?
And fruity.
I reckon you could have mine, which is very similar to yours, even with poultry or lamb, but game it would still go well with. But I think you could have it with something lighter, like your what was it you're having tonight, Carl?
Well, last night I was trying to find. We're new to the area, as you know, and it's always important to find a chicken shop, the best chicken shop nearby. And I found it might be a chain in Portugal, Rei dos Frangos, and the King of. So it's a franchise by the sound of it, and it was all right. I mean, it wasn't. I think the independent ones are probably the best that really pride themselves, being the best in the neighborhood. It was good. It was good enough, and it's always a nice treat to get the barbecue chicken Nando's style, or what Nando's copied anyway. But while I was in there, they got all these other things going on, and they what looked like some fish kebabs with prawns and green peppers and what I thought was fillets of fish. Turns out though it's cuts of squid. I think really big pieces of squid, or cuttlefish. Is it sometimes called cuttlefish when it's done in a sort of Chinese recipe? Forgive me if I haven't got me crustaceans or whatever they are quite classified correctly. And but Mrs. M fancied a bit of fish, but couldn't stomach these big chunks of cuttlefish, squid, or whatever they were. So I thought I can't waste them. I'm going to just put them in tomato sauce and have them tonight, where they might be a little bit softer. So that's what I'm going to be having if it ever arrives. Could someone text her maybe?
Do Mrs. M.
Yeah, okay. Carl, wait till you try espetada with red wine. You wouldn't want anything else. I mean, yeah, they are fish. They're espetada de paella, Joao. So we'll see. But yeah, absolutely. My red wine season. What? News from Neil Perkins. What's this? My red wine season has come to an end and has moved into very cool white fizz and rosé for the next few months. Check him out. Right.
with him.
And we're hoping, aren't we? This is wine 48, and a very good choice, Gary. Well done. A bit risky. It could have been a marketing ploy, couldn't it? But you've chosen really well. We're heading towards wine 50, and I think it'd be lovely if Neil can join us in 2 weeks' time, and Eloise might come back as well for that wine number 50.
Right.
What an achievement!
That would be nice, just to get the old gang back together again.
Yeah, absolutely. The old firm. The old
Some
firm.
bubbly, maybe,
Got to be fizzy that night, isn't
to
it?
celebrate. Absolutely.
Yeah, and that's a proper Cockney. This is worthy of Luis Camois, isn't it? No, mate, it's meat. A nice sort of alliteration going on there from João Mendonça. Yeah, I know the Espatado is normally a mixture of meat, isn't it? But I had the Pasia. Slightly strange, but it smelt so good. Up for it, says Neil Perkins. Brilliant. He's going to make a date with us for 2 weeks' time. Neil, would you like to choose? Would you, given that you're coming back, would you care to choose for us on that? Is that all right, everybody? If Neil makes the selection and he's he's into his Fizz, White, and Rosé season. Let's see what you're made of in that regard in 2 weeks' time, Neil. That'd be fantastic. Lovely to see you both there. Okay. Further impressions, folks. Going down nicely.
I can do a Frank Spencer.
We got going down very well with that here.
Sorry, Andy, but given that Gary did say that, go on then.
No, I'm not going to do it now. That's it. You put me on the spot.
Trouble is, right, is the pressure is not for the Frank Spencer impersonation, I think for Neil's selection. But, you know, how old do you have to be to remember a Frank or recognize a Frank Spencer impersonation now?
I don't know. Depends how many repeats they put on, doesn't it? Really, it's a constant loop. Some others don't have them.
I haven't got it down as a woke classic of the millennial era.
Probably not.
Benny Hill might be in an ironic way, but who knows? Can you do Benny Hill?
Good evening, viewers.
Unmistakable.
Just need the hat the wrong way round. Very.
Cosmo Small Piece from Birmingham.
I'm going to get some of those little round glasses, some Cosmo Small Piece glasses. So when somebody gets a bit risky, I can sit here and go.
And rub your thigh. Rub your thigh. Rub your thighs in the cafe in Alberg. It's oh my goodness! It's throwback. It's throwback Thursday for 70s impersonation. Who Betty is coming in? Actually, it's safe. Thankfully, we can't say that this wine tastes like the cat has done a whoopsie on the cork or anything like that. Great. I've just dropped by for a minute, but I have to add to Neil's comment. In the hot weather, try white port and tonic, of course. Who are you? Who are you? Fab person, yeah. And maybe Neil might take us off piste completely. And wine 50 might be wine based rather than straightforward wine. Sorry, we cut you off, Lilia. What's going on there with the appreciation of this one?
It's very nice, smooth and jammy. As it's been opened longer, very, very nice.
I think initially when we opened it, it was very kind of soft and smooth and not much. I couldn't smell very much from it, and you know now it's full. It's what I would call mellow.
Nice,
mellow.
Yeah, good description. Good description.
Marvelous. João Gloria is also in tonight. So what is everyone else drinking? So it's Portugal Day, and it's an appreciation of Luis Camois, cultural icon of Portugal. So I thought while we're enjoying the wine here, expertly chosen by Gary and Linda, we could maybe do a little bit of a poetry reading with some of the best quotes from Luis de Camois. Care for some of this?
Go on then. Let's have some. Let's have it.
All right. Care, yeah, steady on. And he's known for his eyes, isn't he? He has
got a bit of a wonky eye, hasn't he? He's got a bit of a squint going on there.
There's some, this is his characteristic look. Absolutely,
that's his Cosmo Small Piece look, isn't it? And he's just about to break into one there.
It could be that.
It's Joe with a ruff.
Who doesn't like a bit of ruff around the neck? A caring. I don't know. We can all have a go at this. Our interpretation of Camois poetry tonight. I'll kick off with this one. A caring that gains only when losing, an obsessed desire to be bound, for love in jail, a capitulation to the one you've conquered yourself, a devotion to your own assassin every single day. What does that mean, everybody?
Oh, that's really lovely,
That's
then,
heavy.
Carl.
Is that the nicest thing anyone
Proper
can do?
poetry, that is, right?
It's proper Boston, that is, mate.
Okay. Your own assassin. I think this is about self-analysis, isn't it? A devotion to your own assassin every single day. Either the wish to assassinate parts of ourselves that don't serve us, or to undermine the critic, the self-critic, possibly, that Luis is referring to there. Okay, well, that one went down well. Would anyone like to read Ode to a Chestnut here? Can you see that on your screen?
No.
It's a bit long.
No. A bit long. A whole paragraph. Okay,
Okay, there we go.
go on then.
The nut of this tree is hung high aloft, wrapped in a silk wrapper, which is enclosed in a case of sole leather, which again is packed in a mass of shock-absorbing, vermin-proof pulp, sealed up in a waterproof ironwood case, and finally cased in a vegetable porcupine of spines almost impregnable. There is no nut so protected. There is no nut in our woods to compare with it as food. What is a chestnut?
Beautifully delivered, Andy.
Wow.
The man who compared wine to nuts only 2 weeks ago. So that's perfect for you.
I'm filling up here. I'm welling up. I'm saying, tears in my eyes.
Have you never heard such a beautiful chestnut poem in your life?
I love chestnuts.
Okay. Here's a slightly controversial one that could get us into a little bit of trouble, but you have to understand so many things these days, the context. Gary, do you care to give this a go?
Yeah, now you see, Carl, you've inadvertently blundered into one of my pet hates. Something that I will just get so badly wrong, because when I was at school, I used to hate reading out in class. Even worse, I used to hate having to do maths. And now you've just thrown me into complete panic. So no, I'm not going to do that.
Well, I hope that's helped in some sense, that we've righted that wrong of a classroom humiliation and difficulty, where you've been able to just push back and say, I'm not doing it, which is presumably what you'd have liked to have said to the teacher all those years ago.
Yeah, I feel quite liberated now.
Yes.
But I feel, then again, I feel a bit of a wuss because I haven't taken the challenge. But,
Not at all. Most welcome. I feel glad to have role-played the part of the teacher and been rebuffed in such a way that I can't send you to the headmaster's office for insubordinacy.
Gary, I understand how you feel. I'll never forget at school when I was asked to read a poem out, and I had to read the title, and it was The Clod and the Pebble, and I said The Clod and the Peeble. I was about 9, I think, but I've never forgotten it.
Never
I
forgot.
do this one if I can pull it closer.
All right, I'll see if I can get it any bigger for you, Penny.
Is that, oh, that's better. Right, okay.
Got it.
1,000 trees are seen towards heaven rising, with beautiful and sweetly scented apples. The orange wearing on its lovely fruit, the colour Daphne. Oh, hang on, sorry. The orange wearing on its lovely fruit. Is that a full stop there? Sorry. The colour Daphne carried in her hair, bent low, nay, almost fallen to the ground. The citron heavy with its yellow load. And last, the graceful lemon with its fruit, of pleasant smell and shaped like virgins' breasts.
He's the Shakespeare of
What's so funny?
I'm sure there's full stops where there shouldn't be there, but never mind.
I think what it is, Penny, is that the capital letter would normally denote the beginning of a new line.
Yes.
Even with a comma at the end. So I think that's, Carl, if you bring it up again.
Hey. Okay.
So I think the capitals are the start of new lines. If it was.
Right, I'm with you. Yes. Yes, I got confused because it was like there's no full stop. There's a capital letter. Is that the end? Is that the beginning? Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
He like me is the lover of a woman with orange hair. In his case, Daphne. So yeah, the orange wearing on its lovely fruit, the colour Daphne carried in her hair. How lovely. and you get a sense, don't you, of these trees bent low, burdened with fruit. Fantastic. So there you go, a little bit of a selection from Camões. I hope we've done that proud. Probably not, because we don't know really what we're doing. We need a bit of Portuguese input, I suspect, on that. But
here are my lemons shaped like virgin.
Let's look at the shape of your lemon. Oh, sorry. Of course. Now it all makes
one's bigger than the other.
Yeah.
One's bigger than the other.
Usually
That's normally the case, yes.
Usually the case, absolutely.
With breast,
Sorry for sneaking
testicles
a
and
Sicilian
lungs.
wine in.
And I'm sure my boobs have looked like that from time to time if I've eaten too much chicken or something like that. Any notes of nuts in the wine this week? Question probably for Andy, I think. That was
Now, I'm just not going to answer that. Very childish, very childish.
Well, I'm just glad you're taking the heat from some of the things I've said. Basically, Andy, you are the new guy who has to take that. It's Donna McLaughlin. Hello, Donna. Don't know why I was dubbed Facebook user. Weird. Yeah, it does sound like a Facebook user. Doesn't sound entirely savoury, does it? Douglas, thank you, Donna, by the way. Appreciate it. Appreciate you being here. Hola, my fruity, soft-noted Quaffaroonies. Oh, he's feeling fruity himself tonight.
Quaffaroonies, I like that.
Yeah, Quaffaroony yourself. Saying yes, and do we launch the appeal tonight for Doug for 50 pence a day? No, okay. Sangria proper. What was that, Penny? Okay, sangria done proper and chilled ideal for out there. Okay, so maybe that's a little tip. No, because he's veering away from the red. I don't know, Neil. That's a little suggestion for you. Fiona N. Simon writes, "Hola amigos, salud a todos." Thank you, Fiona. What are you drinking tonight? Maxine also here in the heat. I love a white wine spritzer that I learned to drink in New York, where it was a favorite summer drink in the 80s and 90s. I don't know if it still is. Acceptable in the 80s, I wonder. Let's find out. Steve Merwin, let's hear Gary read that last sentence. No, that's not encouraging me. Yeah, he enjoyed it too much already, I think. And Alyssa, oh, bless you, Alyssa. Thank you for joining us. Alyssa Palmar, lots of love to you, Alyssa. Thank you for joining us this evening. Maxine as well, your little odes to Camões were very sweet. Okay, so that I think we do have a little bit of Portuguese validation there. Alyssa, I don't know if you're a fan of Camões at all, but Maxine may well have heard Camões once or twice at school. It's the first time she says I've heard him in English. So we did our best. And a thank you to you, Gary, for the call last night that Carl mentioned. Cheers, Gary. Much appreciated. Yeah, lots of love to you, Alyssa. You know where we are if you need us. Okay, so yeah, back to the Guardian of the River, the Guarda Rios, gold edition, no less, individually numbered bottles. I don't think I've had a wine that's been individually numbered. Have you?
Don't think so. That's a first.
Not that I've bought myself, anyway.
It's a definite. I mean, you could always go back and say, "I number 1057 was a bit off. 56 is okay."
Mr. Perkins does have a wine in mind. Just need to see how accessible it is. Yes, because a lot of my colleagues have really struggled recently, Neil. So if you could make it a bit easier for them, that'd be great.
Like that one, Carl. Nice one, subtle. I didn't see that one go through. I just felt the blood come out.
It's just a flesh wound. Before you mention my wine gum, I'm having beer. Okay, what are you drinking, Joel? He's a Lusophile for sure, who loves the UK. He's an Anglophile, Lusophile, or an Anglophile of Lusophonic extraction. He's Joel Mendoza. What sort of beer does a man like that drink, I wonder? Do tell us, Joel. And Antonio F. Would love to meet you one. Antonio F. I've got to make a special tribute to Antonio F. Turns up on the morning show, works the room, helps us fantastically from a Portuguese point of view with information, with comments and just answers to people's questions. Thank you, Antonio F. I hope a time comes when I'm actually able to pass you a glass of wine and toast with you in person. So, atraje-me. What does that mean? Is he? Don't forget me or atraje? What does atraje mean? Because it looks like a slightly woeful emoticon that you've got there. How's your Portugal day been, Antonio F? do tell us, and tell us a bit more about yourself as well. It'd be really nice to know a bit more about you, which part of Portugal you're in, or are you one of the Portuguese diaspora? We used to have a correspondent in Japan who would make comments on our YouTube channel, which was really lovely. So yeah, folks, I think we've got a nice mellow vibe going here with the red. That's the thing about the red, isn't it? It does mellow you out, because we've noticed in the last few weeks it's been a bit kind of giddy in this environment, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just a bit.
Yeah, the whites and the bubbly definitely make us giddy. The reds make us chilled and sleepy.
Mm. If I'm using school metaphors, red is the staff room, isn't it? With top notes of nicotine and coffee, and so somewhat stern. Whereas whites and fizz are a bit more like sports day, aren't they? Or the end of term, I think.
That's very simple. That really kind of underlines your school life there, really. Because as was just like, the smell of burning petrol and things breaking and that.
And sirens.
Yeah, and sirens going off and things getting electrocuted.
Harry, when you were there, you mean?
And I was just thinking sweaty plimsolls, which wasn't quite as exciting as the sirens. But
I hope we never have to taste the wine where we give that as a note. But who knows? Who knows? Neil might really let us down. Atrasame, it means I'm late. Okay, great. We're learning. Every live stream is a school day, so to speak. And sorry, I got delayed as well, says Maxine. No one need to apologise for being late. We're glad that you're here at all.
Send Carl an apple, you'll be all right.
Absolutely, I'll overlook it then. No, well, I'll. What's the word they use?
or a lemon like a breast.
No, no, I don't want to be known as that guy. Okay, an apple will do fine. Bière supérieure, haha, is what a Portuguese drinks. Oh, 1664. There he goes. You know the one. That's not in any way Portuguese or English, is it? Kronenberg.
Oh, sure. No.
No. Okay. Must have been on offer down Lidl's, I think. Maybe. Who knows? Yeah. So, folks, I'm so chilled myself here now. I'm still waiting for my dinner. But if you're watching,
Louisa is watching. It's going to come on your head in a minute.
I think it might. I mean, no, to be fair, I've been working hard trying to get this backdrop sorted out, as you can see behind me. Do you like the plants?
It's very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah, spot on, geezer, from the Kronenberg, identifying the Kronenberg there for Joao in South East London, not sure. Yeah, what else can we say tonight? Are we just chilled and mellowed out and just completely succumbing to the Guarda Rios?
Well, I think it's a bank holiday. We're allowed to be a bit chilled out and mellow, aren't we? That's
yeah.
You think of all those guys out there, and hopefully Portuguese guys have a big family dinner. They've got together after being separated for huge amounts of time, and probably just getting to see the family again. So hope that some of them might be drinking some of this, because I think it's an ideal thing, really. It is lovely, exquisite.
Great choice. This will be one of those memorable ones, won't it? All right. So a little bit of a talking point then, if we can be bothered, whilst we're quaffaroonies on this. This came up on a Facebook group today, right? And it relates directly to expat life in Portugal. And this is what was said. I'm not going to name the person, because it's a public forum, but it's the question that I thought was very interesting. Planning on moving to the Silver Coast within 1 or 2 years, what do retired do all day? I'm concerned that we're bored. What would be your comment there?
You reply.
Depends where you live.
He only saw that this morning and didn't reply. So
I thought it sounded a little bit entitled. There's there's quite a lot to do, isn't there, in the world still? Even if you've retired, there's still a few issues to attend to, which you could turn your hand.
That's a very good point.
Vodafone,
Sorry.
Bill.
Yeah, okay.
That's a good point. That's a good point, because Doc and I were having a conversation today, right? And I said to him, right, with the life I used to have was 100 miles an hour. So it was work, eat, sleep, get out, go again. But now I am, here in Portugal and semi-retired. I'll say semi-retired. I find I have a lot more time to think. Now that sounds ridiculous, but just to think about life, what's happened in life, what's going to happen in life. And it's marvelous. It's an absolute liberation because you can really do a lot of sorting out. And as I said to Doc, it's always a bit dangerous when you leave a Brummy on his own to think for a while. But it's a lovely thing. It is a lovely thing to have. So yeah, the pace of life allows you to do a bit more thought and be a bit more thoughtful in what you do. So I think that's kind of a nice thing.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to give this person a public bashing because, it would have been a context, and it's easy to get things wrong and take the mickey out of people. But I just
got some really sarcastic. They did get some very sarcastic responses, didn't they?
And it is one of those. It is one of those questions, isn't it, where it could have been asked completely innocently, and then they're thinking, I don't think I want to move to Portugal if the people who are answering this all live there. Were there like. Because it's a perfect opportunity, isn't it, for other people to virtue signal and to to come all high and mighty on the person. But I quite like that. Was it you, Gary, just said on Monday paid a phone bill, on Tuesday put some petrol in the car, Wednesday arranged my garden tools, Thursday Friday shake out the doormat, Saturday take it easy, don't do any of those sort of things. Sunday, I don't know, read a paper. What's not to like?
Yeah, things you take for granted.
I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to retire, but I just think there are so many things I'd love to do if I were able to retire. I mean, I'd love to carry on doing some of the things I'm already doing, but so many other things I could explore and do. I would actually probably find I'm even busier if I ever retired.
Yes,
it's true. I sometimes wonder how I ever had time to work.
I often wonder that myself still.
Work got in the way for bloody 35 years of my life.
Yeah. Terrible business.
Yeah.
Terrible business.
Criminal.
Well, I would buy that book, Thoughts of a Reflective Brummie, and with the subtitle, "This is what happens when you leave a Brummie alone in a room thinking." I would buy that. I would definitely buy that because I think it can become a classic. Like the point of sale books in Waterson's, like the Little Book of Calm. What would you call it? It could have a nifty little hashtag sort of title, couldn't it? Like, I don't know why, but Brum Chum comes to mind. But
that's got other overtones.
Yes. Something Brum though. Escape the Humbrum or the drum.
As about the really Boston Book of Thought.
Yeah. Or the Little Book of Boston. Yes. Definitely. Yeah. Okay. I think publishers should get onto you for that one. And people seem to like it here. Yes.
Brainiac.
Yes. And my reply to that, Carl, is don't come. That's a bit hard. Well, you start a YouTube channel that should keep you busy. That's true enough, and a lot of expats are doing that, aren't they? A few people documenting their journey, as is the way of the times. Guilty as charged. The Good Morning Portugal show: drinking wine, enjoy the gastronomy, sunshine walks, exploring and chill. Elissa, that is spot on. And this is what we find. When you go on holiday. And you do think, how do we fit work in? Because when you're on holiday and it's like you get up and you make breakfast and it's suddenly 11:30 or something by the time you finish breakfast. Okay, we better start lunch now or go shopping for lunch. And then it's like 3:30 and lunch is finished and you're sorting that out.
Lunch is too late, yeah.
And the whole day is made up of getting up, eating and going to bed again, isn't it, when you're on holiday? Why is that so different to work life?
Well, it's because you give yourself time to take time over eating.
Yes.
You don't rush to clear stuff up. You hang around and chat afterwards.
Yeah.
Have an extra couple of glasses of wine and the day's gone.
That's right. Yeah, and then in certain circumstances, slip back into bed. Oh, what's happened to Penny?
Penny, sit up properly.
Well, that Ramos is pretty powerful stuff, isn't it? Elissa,
I blew my Wi-Fi up, and now I'm upside down or sideways.
That's all right. We can cope with that. It's all right. We'll join you. We'll all do that as well, shall we? Well, that hurts. That hurts a little bit.
She's doing a Cheshire Cat impression. She's going to disappear
Shall I
and come
come
back
out
the other
and come in
way.
again?
No, you stay where you are. It's fine. I mean, it's not hurting you, is it? It's just hurting our eyes.
No.
Yeah.
No.
So you stay where you are if you're happy with that. Alyssa, that's the best. I think that's the best prescription so far. Thank you for that. Maxine, I thought my retirement would mean long, lazy afternoons reading a good book in a hammock. It hasn't happened. Too busy.
Yep.
Isn't that interesting? Yeah, absolutely. Joao quite likes my rota that I came up with. All right, Joao, you're welcome. Humdrum, yeah, the humdrum brum there from Maxine. Hola. When I retire from my job, says Nubianet, I'm thinking of teaching English online part time. I'm hungry. Maybe paddleboard. Is that a sexual thing? Or no? Sorry. No, that's where
Percy Smut. Here he comes again. Percy Filth.
when you start. That's when you're standing up on a surfboard, isn't it?
Yeah.
And ride my bike a bit. Can't wait, says Nubianet. Yeah, and other things will come. Oh, here we go. There it is.
You had to be.
The dummies. Yeah. Boom. All right. Yes, very good. We're still looking for. There once was a man from Leiria, okay, who occasionally smiled from ear to ear. Let's keep working on that, shall we?
That's appalling scanning.
I've got one.
I'll do better.
All right, do better.
I've got one except for the last line.
Mr. Haiku, go on, yeah.
There was a man from Leiria who had a nasty case of diarrhea. He pulled out a plum and stuck it up his bum, but I haven't got the last line.
Well, maybe he should have been. There was an old man from Luria who had a nasty case of gonorrhea.
Getting worse.
True story.
And Doc said, "I'll give you some cream. It'll work like a dream."
Give me 50
He went to the castle and has never been seen.
There you go. There you go.
That's not proper Limerick scanning. I'm
Doesn't
sorry.
The last line was off. That might have been a bit more Camoesian than Limerickian, I think, in its scan pattern there. Brummies for dummies, very, very good. Antonio, get a small plot of land and plant something. You'll get busy part of the day. Yeah, and eventually
A lot of the day.
Yeah, it will take over, won't it? And you'll wish you were back at work after that. Take time for. Here we go. More prescriptions for retirement. Take time for you. I think I'll have to put the link to this program in that on that comment. Take time for yourself and your closest. I thought I said closet friends and family. Which is, I mean, you could be doing. Can't come out now, right? Yeah. If your work life has been so busy that you haven't been able to take time for yourself and your closet friends, that could be the time. Joao Mendonça, but yeah, closest friends and family. Thank you for that, Ian. What's not to love about Portugal? I listen to you and I'm jealous. I'm so pleased to know you're all happy out there. Absolutely, Joao. He's getting a bit of saudade has kicked in while he's drinking the Kronenberg there, I think. Hey, people paddleboard here in North California, but I'm afraid of sharks. Scary. Yeah, I mean,
people paddleboard in the Algarve
and in San Martino de Porto Bay. That's a beautiful place to do it. Yeah. And you're not
here in Torbay.
And in Torbay. At which point Nubianet says we're going to need a bigger paddleboard. And that's the last we with here. That was the last line for you there. Oh, hold on, no, he's rephrasing it. And that's what happened there?
Take the echo off, Carl.
Penny's had a little bit of a tech struggle there, ongoing. And that's the last.
Yeah, I'm trying to get myself back the right way up again.
Oh, yeah. So you put the reverb on as well as the 90-degree rotation.
So, can you hear me at the back? Is this thing on?
Oh, not again.
Here we go. This has really sparked creativity on the great day of Luis Camões, and his friend said, "We don't want to see you." There you go.
That's good scanning. That's very good.
What was an old man who had a bad case of? Oh, Mrs. M's just walked in.
Sorry, it's so late.
She says, "Sorry, it's so late."
He's starving. He's wasting away.
I was just saying.
His ribs sticking out.
I thought you didn't love me anymore.
No comment.
That's proper awkward. That.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
You're just in
Yeah,
time.
the asylum again.
You're just in time for the Luis Camões inspired limerick, which you can be the judge of.
Okay.
So there once was an old man from Liria who had a bad case of gonorrhea. What was the next bit? The doc said, "I've got cream. It'll work like a dream." And his friend said, "We don't want to see you." That's not bad, is it?
Oh, that's all right.
Tidy.
It's getting there.
That's all right. Yeah. Might sound better after a glass of wine.
Oh, you had to be
Have
there.
a couple and
Definitely, Louisa.
it'll
Yes.
sound doubly good.
What's it like,
So
wine?
we don't want to see ya. Get the hell out of Luria.
Mrs. M has just poured herself a glass of my wine. Look at
Yeah.
that.
Go for it.
You'll like that. I'll reckon you'll like that. I'll give it a go.
Where are the life jackets? You might want to wear one in case you fall into that.
I better go and advise the
All
children.
right. Thank you very much for my
Bye.
squid casserole here.
Bye.
Sorry, Leona, you were saying now. I just talked right across you. Beg your pardon. Thank you.
Oh, get the hell out of Luria.
Get the hell out of here.
Luria.
Of Leria. Okay. All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for your contributions. I think we're gonna keep honing that, aren't we? We're gonna keep polishing that one. Nubian, no real sharks in continental Portugal, just small and harmless ones, like the dogfish, like the rock salmon. Yeah. And we got it. Thane, thank you for your company tonight. How are you getting on here in Portugal? Are you enjoying the wine? Nubian, this is why it'll be a great thing to do in Europe. Has someone got a squeaky chair or a little dog tonight?
It's one of my dogs downstairs.
Is it? Oh, I think Jimmy Chew's constipation is slightly improved. Thanks everyone for asking.
Just going past with a wheelbarrow. What should I do with this, mate?
Get on the compost heap. Okay, good luck. To see the real one. Work it out with a pencil. To see the real ones, you'd have to go to the Azores. But even there, chances are slim, says Antonio F. You see, a minor Portuguese information. But dolphins. But to find dolphins in Portugal, just go to the River Sado near Setúbal. Has anyone seen dolphins in Portugal yet? You expats out here?
All the time in the UK, but
Do you? Yeah. Oh, how lovely.
loads.
Oh, I'm jealous.
And seals. And the occasional whale pops
Oh.
by.
Oh, yeah, marine life. We're getting a nice bird life, avian life here, aren't you? Getting the fantastic marine life there. Superb. So we're drawing a blank in Liria and Alviagra on the dolphins. Looks like a standard.
Dolphins in Alviagra. I think it really would be lost. You're right, mate.
What would they do?
You want a drink?
Looks like
What the hell was that?
it's better than your Frank Spencer. It looks like a standard.
It sounded like Hannibal Lecter.
It did. I can't do
Flipper didn't sound so well, did he?
Flipper. That's right. Flipper after 2 glasses of Portuguese red. Cheers, Mrs. M. I'll work on it, Gary. I'll work on it along with my Donald Trump. What a shame it's that he's gone. That I can't do that impersonation.
Yeah. Look, I miss your impression. You know, in the morning program, it's just not the same without the old Donald Trump, is it? Really?
Not the
Big numbers,
same.
big numbers.
I thought he was in the room for a moment there. We have some Vinho Branco for later. So actually, yeah, Thane plugged into the Portuguese wine scene. So glad to have you over here in continental Europe. Casa Tierney there. Right. Closing moments. I've got some squid to kind of wrestle with and see.
Got some scoring to do.
Yes, scoring. This is a wine club where we score the wine, right? Sorry, I remember. Penny, do you want to score your exclusive wine there?
It's very hard because I had to score it on a red wine score. So we were separated out from the Vinho Verde and the Espumante. So on the red wine score, I'd probably go for about a 4. I'm going to go 4.
Okay, 4 out of 5 there. Excuse me, just taking a mouthful. Leria, the old man of Leria.
So, the old lady's going first, by the way.
I finished mine.
Yes, it's not.
And
don't think you're going to be
can I have some? So I finished mine, and it was that good.
Oh, who's gone?
It was that good that I finished Andy's, and I'd give it a 4.8.
You haven't finished mine.
Well, almost finished. Grabbed it off me. That's all.
Yeah.
So that has gone down well in Leria.
Me too.
Really good.
Seeing as how Gary brought the one over from Alvagra for us to have.
That's
very kind of him. That's this was otherwise we wouldn't have had it. But yeah, it's very nice. I would I think I probably concur with the 4.8.
4.8.
Wow.
I'm letting you only in my glass.
Looks like it's going to be a fight in Leria quite soon for the last little bit of the bottle.
No, it's gone. Finished.
Gone, finished.
We'll have to open the. We've got some other Guarda Rios, but not the gold label. We've got some of the. What's the special one? The Family Reserve or whatever it's called.
Oh, excellent. Okay. So, and is it the beginning of a bit of a session then, possibly in Leria?
Potentially, but we haven't got the school.
You've got the school run.
I've got the school run tomorrow. Allegedly.
All right. Here's your
Gary, I drank most. We finished our wine, and Andy had some left, and I tried to drink it all, and I scored it a 4.8. Delicious.
How about that?
I managed to, 2 bottles.
I managed to rescue the bottom 2 fingers in the glass there.
4.8. Well, I'm going to agree with that. And like I said, I wasn't looking forward to red. I just so into the Vinho Verdes. I'm drinking 2 bottles of Vinho Verde a week, at least.
You're going to say a day.
No, I mean, you do. I do. If I said that, would you guys have a word with me if I reported that?
You mean, would we judge you? No.
I don't think you judge me because we all love each other far too much for that.
Would you? At least one a day would be normal.
Okay, so it's like actually, the doc is judging me as a lightweight, basically. Then.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay. Point taken. But that's been my favoured drink in the last little while. And obviously, yes, when there's a doctor in the room, everyone underestimates their alcohol intake anyway, don't they? So you double that. So let's say I'm drinking 4 bottles of Vinho Verde a week then. But I know I was dreading red. I'm thinking it's heavy, it's wintry, it's autumnal. It can wait till later on in the year. But I'm pleasantly surprised by the quality, Gary. You know, you've taken us into a much higher price bracket than we'd normally pay. And you've got a lovely bargain and a lovely wine, 4.8 for me. And one of the memorable ones, you know, one of the ones where we're going to think, that was a good night. It was a good selection. It was a bit different. So, yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And a bottle with a number at first as well.
Yeah.
Well, I'd actually just adding to that, the Guarda Rios, they do white and rosé. The rosé is nice as well. Highly recommend that one. In fact, most of their wines are very, very drinkable. You're not going to get a bad one, I don't think. So, experiment, try that. They're all pretty good, so give it a go. Right, okay, over to you for scoring.
Well, I really like this wine. It's easy to drink, not too heavy on the tannins, not too spicy, just as I like it, nice and fruity. And I've had 4 glasses, 4.8.
Wow.
That's unusual for you.
I really like it. It's lovely.
This is very, very difficult for me. This one is very, very difficult because my highest mark wine so far is a 4.85, and that's the Sophia wine, the Ermelinda. What was it, Valentina?
Yeah.
Drum roll.
Come on.
4.86.
Whoa!
See what you did there.
Wow.
See what you did there.
What was that? Was that 4.6 or 4.86?
4.86. That takes them.
So this tops your favourite.
This for me
tops
is
his
probably my
favourite.
favourite so far. Only just. But
And
it's so smooth.
Do you
So
feel
drinkable.
unfaithful? Yeah, you're feeling a bit unfaithful to the Sophia Loren Melinda business.
No, because I know that Melinda have even better wine.
Who was?
What
Is there a
the
bit
hell
of?
is that?
What was that? Have you got your views?
It's the
That's Leona playing.
It's them being Larry again.
The Larry are messing about. Well, I thought she
It's
got a.
because that extra wine she managed to nick. But
Yeah.
throw over the edge.
I can definitely hear a bit of football in
It's a
Vuvuzela.
horn.
Right.
That feels good, doesn't it? Speak to your doctor. I always advise you to drink red wine. Am I right saying that, Andy? Says well.
Yeah, 1 glass a day is good for you. 2 glasses a day, more than good for you. 3 glasses a day,
That's not
even
true.
better.
That isn't true. Andy told me I had a drink problem, and he actually did the assessment that doctors do. And I wasn't having a bottle a day.
I said,
I wasn't having a
no, I
glass a
said
day.
glass.
And
Forwards to domestic now. That's it.
yeah, oh
Is
dear.
that the assessment doctors do on themselves?
Yikes.
He did the assessment on me.
No, but is that the assessment that doctors do on themselves, which is different?
Oh,
to
I've
they're
done,
gods, aren't
I've
they?
done
So
the
they
assessment on myself, and it's always problem drinker.
wouldn't. My
I've never been anything other than a problem drinker.
problem.
Yeah, you're a problem drinker, are you?
But very consistent by the sound of it.
In fact, apart from the doctors who are teetotal through religious persuasion, I've never known a doctor who isn't a problem drinker.
Yeah, and the rest, all the other lifestyle habits too. Interesting.
Yeah, smoker, the rest
Yeah.
of it.
Sex addicts, whatever. Okay. Going back to the comments, I see them. Hold on. I see them all. I've seen a shark attack a seal tossing in the air. The shark was about 10 foot long. Oh my goodness. You're going to feel so much safer here. Tell Jimmy Choo to eat 2 to 3 oranges. Can you get a dog to eat oranges? Is that going to work? With all the white stuff that is around it. Works wonders. Okay, I'll see if I can get him some sumo laranja down his neck. Now, Louisa sends this black heart to me and then says, are you
It's
so...
a red heart, not black.
It's black on my screen. Yeah, isn't that weird? Okay, I'll take you with it. And then she says, are you so squiffy you missed my rhyme? And I'm thinking to her, are you so squiffy you never posted it in the first place? Because I can't see it in there anywhere. So maybe you could post that again for us. It's nothing personal. 4 red award from Victoria tonight. What are you drinking tonight, Victoria? And red wine all year long for me, says Eric J. Enjoy the rest of your evening, everyone. Looking forward to the man cave tomorrow. Yep, 9 o'clock for the footy, 10 o'clock for the normal service, as normal as it gets. Red wine is healthy in small amounts. And she's coming in to render it live. Here we go. Watch out.
No, it's in the comment above. The heart.
I can assure you, madam, I will be sober. No, I mean,
Yeah,
no.
it's not there.
You can see it in my feed. It's there.
Well, you must. Something's happened.
Okay.
Maybe.
we can't do it.
I tell you what, I know what's happened. It was so filthy. Facebook.
It's very nice.
Yeah, but is it laced? Is it laced with hideous innuendo?
There was a dog from Liria
Yeah.
who had an impacted rear.
Very good.
His mum gave him linseed,
Yeah.
and all his shit was freed.
Yeah, that's why it didn't get posted.
Oh,
Yeah, okay.
and then his shit, and he was pooing for over a year.
All over the Rio.
So I know
was what for over a year, Louisa?
He was pooing for over a year.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah,
I thought that was good.
it is very good, very good. I'm sorry you were thwarted in your.
Facebook didn't know, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think you can put words of that kind. Not even on my show, but look, this is what she does. Okay. Red wine is healthy in small amounts. Thank you. I don't have a problem with alcohol, just without it, says Jenny.
Yes.
There she is.
Hi, Jenny.
Oh, it was a quote rather than a personally owned admission there. And how about this? Carlos Ribeiro, Viva Portugal on Portugal Day. Thanks, Carlos, for dropping in. Marvellous. Jenny B, you're a real poet, Luis. I'll pass that on. Can you do a certificate on Microsoft Word with that on it for us, Jenny B? That'd be great. Are you guys watching the eclipse moon tonight? I thought it was this morning that the eclipse.
It was this morning and I missed it.
Yeah, listen, you might be able to catch it on YouTube now, but I don't know. These things don't happen twice in a day, do they? Or is it an elongated eclipse?
No.
Best chat up line ever. Looks like I need to pick up some of the Guarda Rios gold label, highly rated by. Yes, absolutely, Neil. And look, she's quickly gone back to her computer to check. Thanks, Jenny B. There. So excellent.
I did an eclipse yoga and meditation this evening. I don't think it matters what time of day you do it. It can be on the same day.
What were you trying to eclipse with your yoga? Or was that not?
I'm not sure what was. Well, I might have eclipsed the sun with my yoga once I did my downward dog. But
yeah, it can happen, can't it? To the best of okay. So it looks like Mr. Perkins is going to step in for wine number 50 in 2 weeks' time.
What a god!
What I would like to know is what wine number 49 is, because we still don't know.
Exactly. Who is selecting next week?
Frank and Rachel.
Okay. Who have
That's why they're not here.
Yes, and they've gone rogue in the Algarve, haven't they?
Yeah.
Do you think it's a bit like when they go to the Algarve? It's a bit like, what was that DiCaprio film in Thailand? Is it The Beach? Do they go a bit like that, or kind of weird? And like Frank puts a bandana on and just takes all his clothes. Runs.
He probably does it anyway. Probably a normal day for Frank.
Yeah. I'm not naked, darling. I'm wearing a bandana.
I can hear Frank saying that. I could definitely hear Frank saying that, and Rachel sort of giving him a hard time about it. And then saying,
he's going to be the naked chef, isn't he?
I hope
so.
Yeah. So I think that's what goes on with them. When they're in Coimbra, they're all sort of refined and cultured. And then as soon as they go native in the Algarve.
Out comes the Brazilian thong. Out comes the Brazilian thong and the shark's tooth necklace.
Yeah. And Frank's like working on his really leathery suntan. As any time of the night or day,
like a well-worn saddle, yeah.
Like a well-worn saddle. Excellent. Many years ago, I decided only to drink in company at home or in social situations. It worked. Well, it's a good idea. Yeah, I can see that. Thank you, Maxine, for that. I cannot wait for my first bottle of red wine in Portugal. The crack is good. The crack is good. Don't wait. You don't need to wait, William. Grab yourself anything you like and join us. Absolutely.
Well, you have to understand Portugal is part of the Celtic fringe.
And yes, the Celtic fringe. I think my wife's got one of those.
The interesting thing here, right, and I've just realised this, the last wine I did was very French. And, you know, we're having an easy relationship with the French wines. But that was nice and I marked it well. But this is very, very Portuguese. This is Portuguese to the core. This is what Portuguese wine is all about.
Well said.
Even with Shiraz and Syrah.
Yeah, well, you see, what a lot of people don't realise is a lot of Portuguese wine is blended wine. And they're absolute masters of blending wine. But the really, really surprising thing is they can do a single grape as well. And they can do well.
Yeah,
that is the art of Portuguese wine, is blending. And people who have that prejudice of like they don't drink non-mono and they look down on blending miss a trick in Portugal. Yeah. They absolutely do, and it's a triumph over the environment, isn't it, to blend here, because there aren't vast landscapes of single types of grape. It's all about the blending here, And
But
if
they're
you
not
don't,
alone. They're not alone in blending. I mean, if you look at South America with the Carmenere blends, there are plenty of other blends around the world and well established. So why anyone should look down on blending is beyond me.
yeah.
If you're enjoying the wine, hey,
What was the last
if it's a
single
blend,
grape
isn't
we
it?
had? Because that was really nice, wasn't it? What was the last
Touriga
single?
National.
No, we had a white wine single grape, I think.
Verdeo. Verdeo is nice.
Yes, I think it was. That was really nice.
Yeah.
I mean, Portuguese wine is not for wine snobs anyway. They needn't bother, They go off and go and get all, yeah, go get hoity-toity with whatever you do and just forget it. But people.
just go and ball your head. Go on.
Yeah. That's all I have to say about that. Okay, so I hope you had a great night all. Just come back from my €4 a litre wine meal, classy. Pete, I bet it was delicious. Did you have what dessert? What dulce did he have after that? Do you think he had the arroz dulce? Did he have the chocolate mousse? Did he have the pudding? What did you have to finish off with? Or a nice creme caramel there? It's almost like desserts in Portugal are nationalised because they're all the same wherever you go, whichever grandma's cooked them. They're all the same, aren't they? It's national. Yep. Eric J suspects it's the Peggy effect. Yes, I think she's part of this.
Yeah,
Isn't she?
she's what's the word? She's I don't know. Subverting Rachel.
She's drawing them into her coven.
Yeah,
he's been seduced by the dark side of the Force.
Or maybe it's like she's like Marlon Brando in Apocalypse. It's like Alpocalypse now, and the Algarve. Alpocalypse now, where they've created their own hill tribe or something like that down there in a valley in the Algarve, and their own cult and everything, which we'll get invited to at some point. I hope. Carl, I have to send some stills. Okay, Pete, whatever. Absolutely spot on. Let's do that tomorrow morning. 100% right, Andy. What was that about? The Limerick?
He's right. He's right anyway. It doesn't matter.
Probably the subverting, or I don't know.
Andy will take it. I mean, you're going to take it anyway, aren't you? Whatever it was about.
The blends.
Okay. The blends. Ate Manya, Carl, Andy, Gary, we missed you last week. Yes, we did actually, Gary. Boa noite a senhoras as well from João. Yeah, see you tomorrow night, mate. Pete, hi, just getting home now, about to crack open my $3 Pinot Grigio. Who doesn't like a nice Pinot? And Peru kebabs, turkey kebabs, chocolate mousse. There you go. Finish with a chocolate mousse after the turkey kebabs. See, some people might look at that and think, Peruvian kebabs. I wonder, is that guinea pig or is it some, it's actually turkey. Fantastic. Found out why everyone has 3 courses a meal. Find out why everyone has 3 courses a meal from your guest tomorrow. That's a good question, actually. It is a great tradition, the 3 courses in Portugal, plus coffee, of course, and maybe maybe a takeaway on the way home as well. if you're not quite
at midnight, Carl.
Yeah, that's right. Ooh, I'm still a bit peckish after that. Didn't quite do the. There you go, Gary, Linda, fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you for joining in.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. Good evening.
Any parting comments before we go into a savage lock-in?
Savage lock-in. That sounds interesting. I don't know. Yes. Okay. Right. I'm going to get personal now. Right. I'm just going to get nice and chilled here. That question about what can you do when you're retired? Yeah. And this is a perfect illustration of what you could be doing. Now, for me, I said obviously the thinking part is a revelation. But me, I'm always busy working on Austin Towers somewhere, doing something, and that eats up most of the week. But the other day I thought, sod this. I'm gonna have a bit of time, so I got up very early, just as the sunrise was coming, and I went down to the mighty River Zazare, to my favourite spot, and I got all spiritual and deep, and had the connection with nature and everything, the old tree thing, and the water and the elements and everything, and had the conversation with like people who are not here anymore, the departed, those conversations you have in your mind and everything. And it was absolutely mind-blowingly wonderful, right down to the otters, the eagles, the trees, the wind, everything, the water, spiritually and like emotionally, just absolutely fulfilling. It was beautiful, and those are the things you just don't get time to do back in Britain, and here it's on your doorstep.
Beautiful, Gary. That's amazing. And it was like a sort of Native American experience, right?
It was. You've hit the nail on the head. It was just like being, Native American. All I needed was a canoe and a wigwam, and I'd have been all right. It was just absolutely.
The only thing I'll correct you on there, Gary.
And then John Wayne comes along.
You can do that anywhere. You can do it in the UK. You can do it in Birmingham. You can do it wherever you want. You can do it anywhere.
It's not quite the same though, Pen. I must admit.
Maybe
not in Birmingham.
Quite the same, but if you take your shoes off, you get out
You might
there,
need your
you've got
tent.
a little patch of grass somewhere, and you ground yourself. You can do.
But the whole, how can I say, the solitude of the place, the clean air, the colour of the sun, the sound of the water against the shore. And I don't think you get many eagles in Birmingham, and very, very few otters.
Yeah, but the whole point was that you went because you got the time to do it.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, I agree with you. You can do it, but this is just another level. This was just like, super quality. It was just in there. It's my little savoury place now to go. It was just lovely.
And intention as well. Intention is important, isn't it? You summoned up the ancestors by the sound of it, and that's really special because we don't do that, do we?
No. It's those conversations you're frightened to have in your own mind, I suppose, because you think, I just cracked, just balmy, can't be done. I'm just insane. But it was just a beautiful moment. I don't care if people think I'm balmy, but it was good for me. It fulfilled that need within me, and I got the answers that I needed, really. So
Mate, I don't think anyone. Well, if they think you're balmy, I mean, it's their loss, isn't it? I just think that's beautiful what you shared with us there, Linda. Spot on. I think it's time we take. It's the time we take for it. Pen, you make it. Grounding is possible anywhere. A shameless plug. I at my workshop.
I'll see you soon, Jen.
You can't wait for the day sharing this beautiful spot, Garbo. Thanks for sharing this.
You're more than welcome. Absolutely.
Alyssa, regarding retirement, forgot to mention afternoon naps are a must. They are.
Oh yes.
I can't do daytime sleeping.
Try it, Andy. Try it, mate.
Oh, you should try it. You should try it.
I'm really not interested. I wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning. I go to bed at midnight, and I'm fine. I honestly.
We're going to have a kind of Christopher Nolan film where expats all meet up during their afternoon nap on the astral plane. And it is going to be amazing. And Gary's going to lead the ceremony where we're going to end up in the River Zezed in our nap time, dream time kind of thing. So let's do that. That's going to be amazing. And Jenny says
it's a bit like when you were at school and you used to have your bottle of milk and you used to lie down for a nap when you were little. That might be before your time, Carl, but you used to have your bottle of milk and your afternoon nap. But I think some very contentious political lady took our milk off us. Now, who might that have been?
Yeah.
I wonder.
Milk snatcher. João Mandasso's heroin.
I'll tell you what, I haven't mentioned it, and I don't know if I've mentioned it to you, but a notable ex-partner of mine who doesn't like to be named, unfortunately, it is a checkered past, so it could be a number of suspects. But she threw an egg at Margaret Thatcher, got her right on the bonds.
I love that. I'll go meet her. Can I have an autograph?
Down the face. And I think she was a trainee teacher at the time, fearing that if she got arrested for it, she might be, chucked out of university or whatever it was, teacher training. But what a great thing to have to remember as something.
You can put that on your gravestone.
Yeah, eggs.
That's important.
That's right.
Yeah.
Egg the milk snatcher. So thank you, folks. You've been amazing and great selection tonight. And we'll see you next week when, if and when Rachel and Frank return from the Algarve. Or they'll just turn up. They'll turn up, won't they? Next Thursday night, slurring, holding a
With a
bottle.
bottle of wine.
Chill, man, chill.
Ah,
Chill.
that's right. Easy. What's up with you guys? Take a chill pill, you northern Portuguese people. What's
You're
up?
just going to get the pictures and the videos and the stories of all that fun they've had down in there, and the
Yeah. So
debauchery and everything like that.
we might find out what their wine is. We might not. But join us for that anyway next Thursday. Take care, folks. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Ciao, ciao.